Welcome back to Drum Key. This is a pop-in. This is our second pop-in episode, which means nothing is off limits. Sean and I are wearing the same shirt. We're not going to talk about Adam from Meinl's shirt, a.k.a. sweater. He's back.
Who dresses you? The state?
And,
I dress me.
Oh, okay.
and this is his first experience. Well, actually, no, he's had many experiences with this, but this is his first experience on the podcast where both Sean and I can talk over him while he answers questions. So we're really excited to have him here. Adam, what is new?
With what?
I don't know. That's my only question. Then I just
mean,
let it go off the
there's
rails.
like with Meinl, there's so much new stuff.
Oh, here we go. He's gonna plug
Is that
up the
what
new
you
stuff.
want? That's what you wanted, right?
We can do whatever
you did
want.
this.
We can ignore this. We can talk Ninja Turtles, or we can talk.
I like Toidles.
You do.
I was going to say, if we really wanted to talk what was new with Meinl, we should have just had that whole hour and a half conversation you all had recorded.
Oh,
Right?
yes.
That's true.
The beginning of the year.
You could have recorded that whole thing with terms and buy-ins and all
New
that kinds of
for
stuff.
2024. We'd have to just redact a whole bunch of things.
Was
There'd
there
be
any
a bleep
Adam,
button.
Other Adam. I don't want to get. I know this is very confusing. It's
I'm
gonna be
other.
Confusing.
I,
Yeah,
I would
other
prefer
Adam.
to be Adam.
It
and he
doesn't
would
matter.
Be, I'm the regular on the
he's
show.
other
I'm the
Adam when
OG.
I'm regular. Regular Adam.
1.0.
What stood out today? Anything that stood out as far as anything new from Meinl that this Adam, your other Adam, this Adam shared with you that you want to share right now?
Yes.
What?
There's a lot of things.
Just one in particular. We can't go through everything. We don't have all flipping night.
This is a pop-in. There are no rules. As the rules are as I have stated them. There are no rules.
The rules
which would be a
exist
rule.
No,
for a reason.
Every year there's tons of new stuff. And in my mind, as we're going over all of it, I classify things into one of three categories.
Oh my God! Hold on. Before you go any further, I need to say this because I'm going to forget it. But you said something that reminded me of something I want to share with you later, and it's not perverted. Okay, it's not perverted. Okay, it's a video. Do you know who the comedian Tim Dillon is?
I probably
He's
do.
hilarious, but he does, and I don't know if I shared this with you already, but there's this rant where he just goes off on corporate steakhouses.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Okay,
to me.
good.
Yeah.
All right, I think about you when I hear it, and
I do enjoy a good steakhouse.
it's so great. I'm sorry, as you were. I just wanted to make sure I got that out of the way.
No, I'm glad. No, I kind of classify things in my brain. I realize I sort things. And being a child born in the 90s,
That hurts. We're
I
80s
feel
babies
that
here.
if I had to represent,
I thought you were gonna hold my
if I had to represent my brain while I'm listening and organizing thing, I would probably grab things and stick them in folders, like you would on a computer.
Isn't that like
Like Windows?
Yeah, like XP.
Decompartmentalizing. How do you say that word?
Compartmentalizing.
Compartmentalizing.
Yeah, decompartmentalizing. Does that mean I open all the folders?
I don't know.
Empty, recycled
I think
in,
that's
and
how you clean your room as a kid. You just dump everything into a pile
Yes.
in the middle, and then you clean your way out.
that's it.
Somehow the desk is still full, but you threw out 9 bags of trash.
Exactly.
Right.
No, I kind of classify things as like, gotta have it for the shop, really want it being Adam, being a drummer, and then other stuff like, that's wild, and I never thought about that, so I'm scared to get it in because it's a risk, but I also know that whoever gets that in, and if it's a killer item, they're gonna like destroy. They're just gonna sell tons of them, and then Adam's gonna come back to me next year and be like, well, you know those E-flat tuning forks that you passed up on in the Sonic Energy series, that's our #1 selling item. And I'm like, I should have known it was the E-flat, you know?
Well, you live, you learn.
I know, but then next year there's all these shiny new things. That's the problem. Is you should wait. Don't put out new stuff every year. Put out new stuff. Wait a year. Tell me what's working. Then I overinvest in that. You guys can double down. Then the market will be flooded. Supply and demand will be all screwed up. And then you come up with new shiny stuff the next year.
You've got this.
That's
all
what we
figured
do.
out.
You're just a year behind.
That's it. It's like I
Speaking
was
of-
born on a leap year.
Are you?
It is a leap year.
It is?
It is.
2024?
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Wow. Were you born on a leap year? Or
No.
no. No. Okay.
No.
So you're just joshing us.
I was joshing.
Are
Yes,
you,
Adam.
are you going to NAMM? Is anyone? Is Meinl?
Mine will not be at NAMM.
Okay.
No.
Meinl will not be at Winter NAMM. Okay.
No.
Neither will Adam from Meinl.
Neither will Adam.
Apparently not.
I will be. Well, it's this week. If I was going to NAMM, I wouldn't be here
You would
now.
not be here. No, you would be here. You
No,
you make time for us every year. all the
When
time.
Meinl was at NAMM, I'd be out there Saturday before.
Oh yeah, you are the king merchandiser.
You are
out
the
there,
merchant.
man.
it takes
Yeah.
forever.
Do you sit down in a meeting and plan out what the booth's going to look like and everything and sketch it out? What does that look like?
I would. Wouldn't really be a meeting. I just know how much space was left, and I just remember where everything worked, and then I would. I'd rough out like, all right, this wall's going to be tambourines. This one will have this, and each wall will have like a new product featured on it, and then I would get it all picked and mock it up.
What does mock it up?
I'd have a
diorama.
I'd build a slat wall.
Okay.
In our warehouse and put everything on it.
Yep.
The way it needs to be set up.
Mm-hmm.
Snap a picture of it, and then pack it all up in a box and label that box for that wall. And that way, when the 20 other people helping build the booth, like, all right, you get this wall, and you get this wall,
Make
and
it
you
look
get
like
this
this.
wall. Here's the pictures taped to the thing, and everything you need is in the boxes labeled for your stuff. And then I would go and yell at them when they would be reaching at someone else's box.
Mm-hmm.
That's
they're
not
like,
your
"Oh,
job.
I'm missing a thing. Like, it's right there. Did you open the box?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. No, that's just interesting to
just
to
keep
see.
it efficient.
Yeah.
We because we just did the PA drum show this last year. I obviously wasn't doing displays for every little person, but we had a consignment booth and we had a T-shirt booth, and we were running the front, which was admission, but also our raffle too, and just accounting for having enough tables for the whole event for everyone that requested them and chairs and different things was like a big job in itself. There's so much organization that happened ahead of time, just so that day everyone looks at you and it's like. Like, I mean, I know Sean remarked on it. Sean didn't say a word to me. It's the longest I've been with Sean without him opening his mouth.
Because
Wow.
Yeah.
well, I knew what I needed to do, and that was just listen to what he was saying, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna tape off these booths, and that's it, and I'm gonna really focus my energy on consignment and not have to really worry about anything else. But I got there, and immediately everyone is coming to Adam, and even I wanted to do this, ask Adam a question. I was gonna say, hey Adam, but someone would beat me to it. I was like, I'll wait. And then someone was, hey, Adam, how about this? Hey, Adam. After the third or fourth one, I was like, I'm not going to say a word to him. I'm just going to do my own thing and not bother him. And later on, I told him, I was like, everyone was coming up to you. And you were like, okay, do this. This is what we need to do over here. Okay, that we're going to wait on because we have to wait until this. Okay, we're not letting anybody in yet because of this. What if somebody asks? What if someone asks nicely or politely? What if someone begs? You say no. We can't let them in. You can't let them in.
I know. And then somehow a door ended up unlocked. Somehow, like 3 or 4 vendors snuck in when I was informed that all doors were locked. And I figured out what started to happen. This happened with people coming to the show, too. Entry, people that were there for just to get in to see the stuff, not vendors. It happened to vendors and those people. I'm going to keep repeating myself. They got in by saying, I need to use the bathroom. And that was the breach in the wall, and the front guys were like, "Well, the guy's got to pee.
He's an old man.
Look at him. He's an old man." And I found a group of 3 old men that came in. They all used that excuse and snuck upstairs and were sitting up on the balcony, looking down, waiting for the show to start, like a half hour before the show started. And I was like, "How did you sneak in?" I was joking around with them. I was like, "What did you do?" And I figured it out.
That's a good way to get in places. Also, you can get it anywhere if you carry a ladder.
Yes.
Ooh.
No one asks questions. You carrying a ladder?
And a vest.
They will hold the door open.
A vest and a ladder.
Yeah.
And you can get in. You could have got in. I wish you were there for the PA Drum Show. Next year.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna work as much magic as possible to try.
We brought the entire Meinl cymbal tour to the PA
Right.
Drum Show. It was freaking awesome that
Yeah.
we had all those cymbals too. I mean, it was badass having all those cymbals. It was so awesome.
Where are you going?
Yeah, see ya.
I got something.
Well, Adam's gone, so it's the Sean show now.
It's the Sean Show. This is what I've been waiting for. Now, I'm gonna get up over there.
Wow, you guys can't fill 2 minutes.
I know we can't. We're done.
Well, I keep catching
2 minutes from
catching my face in the.
Well, I was gonna
catching
say.
yourself in the mirror, your own
And
reflection.
it's off, and it's the other direction.
Who's
It's
that
really
handsome
weird.
devil? Yeah, I'm over here instead of over there.
It's disconcerting, is what it is.
Something you get used to. Something you get used to after a while.
I mean, it's hard to look in a mirror when you dress like this. It's
Well, It's painful.
It's painful on the eyes, and I know I don't have to see it, so it's fine.
Get, like funny looks when you're going through the airport?
Probably, but I'm
Like-
walking too fast to notice anything.
People ask like who you are ever.
They know me.
Okay, I would figure
I'm Adam from Meinl.
Yeah, I would figure as many times as you fly in and out of. Where did you fly in today?
Today was Philly.
Philly. As many times as you've flown in and out of Philadelphia, they probably know you by now. Oh, just wave him on through. You know, you probably don't even need to go through like
Actually, I got stopped.
security or nothing.
Like the guy was so slow this morning at security, and he was like, they pulled my bag over to something had to be.
Yeah.
It was.
They stopped you?
They saw you, and they're just like, "There's something going on."
It was
here. I
like
don't know.
4 bags back. It was over half an hour before they finally got all my stuff because the guy was just barely moving, and I'm like, "What am I gonna do? Complain? He's just gonna put me on a no-fly list." Or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
Right.
I tell you what, if
You do
I
your
were in
thing. I've
charge
had
of
time,
like,
thankfully.
security at the airport,
You're a TSA agent.
I'd flag him. Like, all right,
Major
funny
flag.
guy, get over here with your bow tie. I'm like, get over here. You think you're funny, do you? You think you're going to get away with this?
You think this
the
is
way
some
you're
kind
dressed?
of game?
Yeah.
Oh, I really all it was is the 5 sets of catalogs I have in the thing. They couldn't the X-ray machine couldn't get through it.
Oh,
It's a
no.
brick of paper.
So they just see this brick that they can't see through. So they had to open up and test everything, and I'm like,
Go through the
fine,
pages.
whatever. But
And then they're asking you questions like, so I saw this guy playing this drum that was like, looked like a spaceship. Look like a spaceship. I want one of those. What are they called? And it plays like melodies and everything else. Like the guy was playing this thing out in the woods somewhere. It
hand
looks
pan.
like a spaceship.
Oh, and this
You
one
want a
comes
hand
with a
pan?
mallet?
Yeah.
Does this come with a mallet? Oh, it does. Does it have a bag? No, it comes with a bag. You have to buy the bag separately? Oh.
and a mallet bag too for the one mallet.
Yes.
It needs a little sleeve.
A little mallet bag.
Yeah. How about tambourine bags?
We have them.
I figured.
I have
yeah.
a bunch
I
myself.
figured you would.
I do not have enough to cover all my tambourines though.
You have a lot of tambourines.
I
You have an
do.
awesome collection. I saw a picture you put up. I was like, And you said that's not all of them.
It's not all of them. I think it's 109,
109 tambourines.
110 right now, something like that.
What's your jingle count?
Oh, jeez. You probably average. If you average, probably, let's say,
Math. Carry
8.
the one.
probably average 30 jingles a tambourine, average. Maybe a little less, 25 jingles. That'd be a weird number. Like it's just a single one.
Yeah,
you
so
know,
we can
a lot.
over
Couple
3,000
thousand.
jingles. Yeah.
What's your prized possession? Like
Your tambourine.
favorite, like that. This is
Yeah.
the holy grail of tambourines. Do you have one or two?
I've got some 60s Ludwig ones with the original box.
Nice.
Those are nice.
Are they're actually nice to play and stuff?
Yeah.
Or are they just like collectible?
Both. I mean, those 60 Ludwigs were our collector's items. You get
But they
them
play
$100
well.
for
They
them.
sound good.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Something about that chrome over brass. It was like the same with the what's the big snare, the Ludwig snare.
Superphonic.
Superphonics, yeah, the old
Superphonic
chrome over brass
tambourine.
stuff. The old
Oh,
ones
no shit.
are the classic. Like those are the ones that are super soft. Something about that chrome over brass, like that batch.
That makes me feel good knowing that. I never knew anything like that, but that makes me feel good.
You're going to bust that out in a
I-
conversation. Someone's going to be like,
I feel good knowing that.
chrome over brass.
I know. You
Ludwig
got chroma,
tambourines.
and they're gonna be like, "What?
Yeah, it's
You
the
got this
same.
from mine. You got this from Adam from Meinl, didn't you?" And I'm gonna suck
The tambourine man.
You're going to be like, it'd be worth more if you had the box, but I'll give you $5 trade in. You're going to see that in the bottom of some traps case of like a bunch of stuff that we buy someday. And it's going to be like a box, and you're going to
There it
open it. It's
is.
going to be chrome over brass Ludwig tambourine. And instead of just throwing it in the studio or something or putting it out for $20, you're going to be like, this thing. Let's
I'll
do a
take it
little
for
research.
$20.
That's what I'm saying. We're going to sell it to you.
For $20,
$20? All right. We'll see.
then I'm gonna flip it for like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we wanted that's it, and that's an interesting thing. Like selling stuff but caring about who buys it is such a bizarre concept to me because it's like you put it out there, you put the price on it, and you get what you get, or you don't get to be choosy. But there was a guy at the drum show that wanted to sell his stuff, and he came in here. We went back and forth, him hawing around about, should I sell it? I don't know, and I love it. Blah, blah, blah. And the conversation ended, or was close to ending, by me saying, doesn't sound like you want to sell your drums.
Right.
And he said, well, yeah, I just don't know what to do. I said, don't sell them.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening is he ended up selling them, but brought them to the show.
Yeah.
And he consigned them and stood next to his drums and waited to talk to each person. He wouldn't sell them unless he knew that they were going to a good home.
Right. I was like, that was
Been
a little
there.
bit of
I get
a
that.
conflict of interest though. Like when you're bringing the stuff in on consignment, and then you have the owner standing there next to the set. Like this isn't going to just any Joe Schmo walking up.
Right, but it actually worked out really well, and it kind of made sense in a way.
What kind of
It was
drums
like
were they?
less work.
Ludwig,
There was some
like
Ludwig?
60s. I think they were a club date or club.
Yeah, they were nice drums. It was nice drums, but it's just interesting to me that the thought that
There's babies. You got
I
to make
want
sure they
to-
get to a good place.
I want to make sure they get exactly. I want to make sure they find a good home. But at the same time, I'm like, but what your overall goal is to make money, right? That's your goal, and he's and it's not the primary driver for someone selling something all the time.
But how do you say you can't say no if someone comes up and they're like, I want to buy these drums, and he just has a brief conversation with them. And he's a punk rock drummer, and he's like, no, I'm not selling them to him because he's a punk rock drummer or something like that.
Right.
You can't say no. You're like,
Right.
nope, can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could. But
Can you imagine if we did that at the
I
shop?
know. No.
Someone brings them up to the counter. Yeah, just like these. Like, these are jazz sticks. Like being a gatekeeper of some kind is like absurd. We're just like, sure.
I've joked.
There's those people out there.
I've actually had a conversation kind of like that where someone comes to me and they're like, let's say a drum throne, for instance, and I jokingly said, they're like, well, I'm looking for a new drum throne, and they're kind of looking for the cheaper ones. I go, no, you need a rock and sock. And I will say, I'm not going to sell you one of those other cheap ones. Like, I don't care if you come up to the counter and you want to buy that. I'm not selling it to you. Especially if he's like a bigger fella. I'm like, dude, I will walk out. I'm not going to sell that to you, man. You need a proper
risk.
drum throne. Yeah. That pole's going to go, where.
Well, I mean, you should. That's something to always invest in. A good throne. You spend
Yes.
a lot of time sitting down. You should be comfortable.
That's what I say.
I have bad back, bad knees, bad shoulders, and part of it's because I started on a cheap throne.
And a bad attitude.
That's not from the throne, though.
Oh, okay.
That's got my mother written all
That
over
came
it.
before.
Yeah.
That came before the drums.
That was inherited.
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
People bring up something like that to you, and you have your knee gut reaction, and then you wait. Your knee jerk, knee gut reaction.
You want me to knee you in the gut?
You're following
very
your gut,
violent.
but it's a knee jerk reaction.
You're a jerk.
Why are you
something.
calling him a jerk? Dude.
I'm about to walk off the set again.
Well,
What I was looking for is I had a construction helmet. When you were talking about the ladder getting you into places,
right.
I have a construction helmet somewhere.
That would work too.
That like
But
that.
the
Like, you
ladders-
look like a
The
like,
ladders.
No, but
Surefire.
that and like a
clipboard?
a tube, like you've got like blueprints in
Yeah.
it, like you're
Oh,
the
God,
architect.
A clipboard would be good too. And like,
Tuck your tuck a button-up shirt in jeans.
sure. You
Get
got to
some
have
boots,
a big
tape
old
measure.
Nokia
Yes,
walkie-talkie thing.
of some sort. Doesn't have to function.
And it doesn't hurt if you have money for admission.
That'll
That
get you
usually
in the
helps
door.
get people in a lot of
That's
places.
the easiest way to get in the door.
Yeah,
is
you-
to pay the ticket price and enter legally. Yeah.
Support the businesses. Everything costs money to do.
Absolutely.
If you
Yeah.
get it for free, that means someone else is paying for it.
Nothing's free, man. Nothing is free. Someone else is paying
Except
for
my
it.
love.
Your love is unconditional.
Yeah.
It's free, but not everyone wants it.
That's-
You can't
see,
give
there's
away
that,
just
too.
about it. Just about it. I remember Rick at the old shop had this great idea. He's like, today I'm going to make special memories with people at the shop. It was such a great idea. He's like, I'm going to give away a pair of sticks to every drummer that walks in the door. The next person who walks in the door, I'm going to give them these sticks. These really nice sticks, And this kid walks in for lessons, as like teenager, and he's like, this is going to be great. This is going to make his day, right? And so he reaches out and he hands him the pair of sticks. He says, guess what? I'm giving these to you today. These are your new sticks. And he takes them from him and looks at him and says, I don't play these. No, thank you. Hands them back and walks next to him. And I remember Rick turning to us and looking so defeated, like, I can't even give this stuff
Right.
away. Like, what in the world?
People get drummers especially. This is what musicians like. They know what they use. They're not going to try anything else.
Sure, but
even if it's free.
It's the old saying.
Unless it's a shirt, they'll take a free shirt.
Everyone wants a free T-shirt. Why don't they want free drumsticks? I'll take free drumsticks all day long.
It's the old saying, don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And I don't think he knows that maybe that kid just didn't know that expression. It's just like when someone's going to give you something, you just say thank you and take it. Which is also another one of those Rickisms where we had these shop talk sessions last year, and Rick had a presentation. And we chopped these presentations up into different reels and clips and put them out there. And one was Rick saying, "Always say thank you. When you get paid at the end of the gig, say thank you. Always say thank you.
Show up to the gig.
And there were people, there were trolls on the internet going, look at this fat old white guy. He's like, literally, I'm not kidding. They're like, he's had everything handed to him his whole life. He didn't have to pay for a single thing. Like, we're like, where's this coming from? Say thank you. He's like, no, you shouldn't have to say thank you. You should get paid for the gig, and that's it. Like, these guys
put in the work. Blah,
yeah, I'm like, dude, you're missing the point.
It was a 20-second clip of him saying, it's nice to say thank you to people.
Right.
And still...
There's haters out there.
You can't win on the internet.
You can't win.
Nope.
You can't argue with stupidity.
We've got a lot of good ones right now. Mad at me. I'm doing a masterclass series here, and it's $10 a ticket to get in. Right. So we are the devil now.
Wear a construction hat. And
double it.
Ladder.
Yes. We are the devil now because we are offering education in a slightly different format than private lessons, and we're charging money for it. And the money goes to, like, I hired a whole bunch of different artists, local educators to come in, and the money goes to the shop, and it gets split with the artist, to pay for their time, to compensate them a little bit. It'll get them a sandwich or get them gas money. It's $10. It's $10,
And people are
it's a small, intimate class where there could be 5 to 7 people there, maybe, learning specifically, get to ask questions, get hands-on experience with these things. And there's so many comments. And I did some promo videos. This gets to my point. I did a promo video where I'm reaching around the snare drum just because the wing nuts aren't all on the same side. And I'm like, it's little things like this that if you just set up the exact same way every time, you never have to worry about. You're reaching around it. There's just annoying little things, and that stuff adds up. So just learn ergonomics. And I said, this is one of many things that I'm going to be talking about during my master class. And it's $10, and it's this day. Just pages of well, I could get that for free. And, oh, I really wish you showed me. You didn't even show me how to set up your stand here. So you're telling me I got to pay to come to this class to learn. I'm like,
and other guys are like, I'll do it for free. I'll save you some time. You can find out this information on YouTube. I'm like, what the heck?
I'm like, this class isn't for you.
Yeah, I know.
That means this class isn't for you.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're way too good for us, apparently.
That's it. You know how to set up a snare stand. So it's not for you. But I'm offering a 2-hour class where that's one blip second in my ridiculous presentation where I literally assemble an entire drum set.
I think I could set up a snare stand in less than 2 hours.
Yeah. Well, I properly?
Properly.
Right.
Yeah, that's the key.
But I think I could do it. 159. I could. Yeah.
159. Just squeeze it in there.
Just under.
But yeah, it's it's a lot of fun, and it's been a growing process for us because we were never public about anything.
Yeah,
We'd post a picture of some guy loading a drum set in his trunk years ago, and we wouldn't even want to be in the picture. And now every morning it's, hey guys, it's me. I'm Adam the Clown, and here's Bozo Shawnee Boy. Hey,
guess what? I'm going to talk about something else today. Someone's going to be mad.
And you
do
that enough. You do that enough. You start to gain traction as if you're offering value, and then that means more people see it. And when more people see it, that same percentage of haters comes out of the woodwork.
Get more negativity.
Got to deal with it, and it's we're
your
growing.
Girl T-Swizz said it though. Haters gonna hate.
It's true.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
What game?
Or is it the vice versa? Don't hate the game, hate
gig?
the player. I don't know. It's
Don't
one
hate
of the two.
Game, hate the player. No one's ever said that.
I don't know. I'm dyslexic. Leave me alone.
Don't hate what Adam's talking about right now. Hate him specifically.
That's right. Wait,
well, that seems to be the mentality of online trolls.
I just say if I do respond to that, I say I hope your day turns around.
Yeah, really.
Because anyone that takes time out of their day to really type that up and do that is not doing so hot on themselves. So
right.
Show a little compassion, and you don't have to respond to all of them.
No.
Speaking of hate, the new Meinl. No, I'm just kidding.
So what happened to all the cymbals that went back to Nashville from our Meinl cymbal tour? What happens to those cymbals? Do
They get put back into our cymbal tour stock to go out with the next one.
What happened to that big 28-inch prototype ride that we got, I think, 3 years in a row, and we didn't get this year? Do you remember who bought that?
No, those things we sell a bunch of those.
Okay.
Because they're not for everyone. That's a tough.
They're not, but they're fun to play. And when we got,
28.
I wanted to play it again. When we got those in, I'm like searching around for it. I'm like, I can't wait to play that 28-inch prototype ride. I was like, where is it? It's not here. I was like, oh,
Not here.
rats.
Someone
But
bought it.
There were some really cool cymbals in there,
Yeah,
though.
we get some cool. We're still
was
working on some other stuff, but it's we making an obscure prototype or just a one-off like that. It just slows down production and everything else.
I gotcha.
And priorities really, if we can't keep up with the demand like of our regular stuff.
Yep.
Making all the crazy, cool, unique stuff is like it's just going to put us further back on the regular stuff.
Are you guys pretty caught up now?
Some things yes, some things no. I
With
mean,
shipping
like from the yeah.
out of Nashville?
Yeah, that's pretty caught up. I mean, we were closed for inventory a couple weeks ago, and
Dude, everyone was backed up, though. I mean, I know that you guys, everyone's been backed up. Especially inventory just throws
beginning of the year
a wrench into everything.
yeah.
But if you order something late December, but before you get your tax refund, chances are it will be delayed at some point. I feel like
Taxes. I got to remember to do those soon.
that's
The time's coming up.
Yeah, you're supposed to do them every year. I don't know.
I do.
Okay.
This is going out.
This is going. Yes,
so
you can check.
the
It's
IRS
every
will
year.
be
Yes.
watching.
Yeah.
They'll be paying attention.
Yeah, but there's always that. It's expected and understood. And everyone that's worked everywhere relating to product of some kind knows that that's a thing. Whether it was, our warehouse is delayed and their customer service rep, or they work in the warehouse, or this or that. It's got to happen.
We were delayed too, briefly. We had inventory going on all week long, and that puts us back a little bit. I mean, we're not doing the listings, and you're backed up, and I'm taking care of all the front of the house stuff and everything, and even shipping had to do that while the other guys were doing the inventory. So just tag teaming it all and getting it all done. But we were backed up too because of it.
What can you do?
Got to do it.
Got to keep inventory in.
Got to do it. Should
That's
have
it.
you up.
Can you imagine? I mean,
Can you imagine him doing inventory? It'd be great.
I do inventory.
I know. Well, here with us,
Oh,
we'd have a party.
Piece
We'd
of
have a
cake.
blast.
piece of cake. The it's
a cake
shocking.
inventory?
Yeah.
A piece of cake. We only had one piece
So
of
it's
cake
easy.
this year.
It's easy to count.
It's easy to count.
We like to
just gotta
we like
find
to
it.
we like to have our cake and eat it too.
The I
know
can't
the old
imagine
saying?
being a warehouse as large as Meinl USA, or I mean that's small in comparison to some of these warehouses that are the size of city blocks. But even here, the amount of stuff that like the systems that we have in place, no matter what, it still gets off. Mm-hmm. Like a year goes by and it's like, how does it say I have 8 clear Emperor 16-inch drum heads and I have 1? How is like how are we got it wrong 7 times? How did that happen? Or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's remarkable.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll be off on something and it's like, how are we off by this much? Like, and it's stuff like, it says we have 5 in stock, and then we go and there's nothing there. It's like, well, those come in master packs of 6, so I bet I know what happened.
There you go.
Which means some store or some store received 6, didn't say anything.
Ooh.
Yikes.
It's like,
We would never do that.
why do you think
We would
We could
never.
keep. If all those, if
By the way,
everyone was
Meinl cymbal set.
Yeah. I wish mine old classics darks ride cymbals came in packs of 6. That'd be great.
6 packs.
No, I'm
I
just
think it's usually around 6 or 10 in a box from the factory. But cymbals, that's easy. But it's like a ching ring or something, and it's like
yep. In a box,
a box of
one.
6, and you open it up, and then like, but who like? It's also like someone picked that, and then someone checked it and said, yes, 1 is there,
Right.
and then someone packed it up and ready to ship it, and yes,
And they
one is
they
there.
saw the weight
And
of
maybe-
6 cymbals instead of 1.
And maybe they're new guys or something like that. They had
Yeah,
don't have the
give them
experience.
excuses. These people are
I'm-
hypothetical.
we have had some people
Their
that weren't,
fault.
weren't drummers who opened up claves and maracas and grabbed 1 out
Oh boy.
of like when in
Wow.
the package, like with the header card and everything ready if we go on display at a store, and they open it up and pull one out.
It's just like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, that reminds me that customers will come in, especially when they're new to drumming, and they need a new drum head of one of their toms, and they have both toms on the tom mount out of the bass drum because they took it apart that way. Just interesting where so we'll have like that person that brings that whole thing in, and we're like, oh, this comes off, and there's a memory lock, and and we educate him at that point. And then there's the other person that says, yeah, I just needed this new thing, and they've got like tension rods and inserts separated out in baggies that they're bringing a set on consignment. I'm like, we have to assemble this set now. So some people go too far, and some people don't go far enough, and that's why.
Just don't get jaded on it. Just remember,
everyone's there.
We're all on the same journey. We're just the different parts on it.
Of course, and the same thing. There'll be, I can't tell you how many times, the snare drum, and it's the stands clamped on there, and they bring the whole stand in, and it's like I've been there. I've been there. So it's fun to see sometimes how people disassemble stuff.
I remember taking my drum set into school and like high school, and I kept the toms on top of the bass drum, and I put it in the back of this pickup truck, and I didn't live too far from school, so I stayed in the back cab holding my drum set up that way. I'm like, how crazy am I?
You could have just taken them off. But if you don't know, you don't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then which you got to be careful who you're sharing drums with, but I'm just thinking about going to a gig or something. And I remember when I first started doing that, I didn't know all the adjustments and how to change stuff, which of course you got to make sure if you're sharing someone's kit that it's cool that you do that. But I didn't know how to do that, so I played so uncomfortably for so long because I didn't know that, I didn't tilt the cymbal towards me a little bit, or vice versa, because everyone sets up completely differently.
And you're going to go over that in your masterclass.
Oh, this isn't an ad for the masterclass, but
this is going to come out after the masterclass.
Yeah. I'm not editing this in the next few days. I might, actually. I might. If we do, it's Sunday, January 28th. It's Sunday the 28th.
At 2 p.m.?
1 p.m.
Right.
1 p.m.?
Now you're confused. Look on drumsetcetera.com for all upcoming events.
Very confused.
That's it. Thank you. We're going to put a glint.
Ding!
Yeah.
The now you know. Do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. The we had some bells come in on consignment recently, and I was playing them, and I was like, what is this thing? And one of the teachers was like, oh, that's the NBC, ding, ding, ding thing. And I was like, yep, that's where I've heard it, before. I was like, this tone, what are these tones? Why do they sound so good together? Like, this is a jingle. What is it, And it was that.
I thought we should come up with like a little jingle.
We'll do it right now.
Okay.
We can come up with a whole song.
Go.
Sean hasn't got anything? I was ready.
Sean's got nothing.
I had a few lines ready.
Sorry.
It started
The problem
with hey.
is we're all drummers, so we're
It
trying
started with
we got the beat.
I was actually going to come in with like something like I wasn't going to say or do any. I was just going to come in with another drum beat to compensate.
I was coming up with with lyrics,
Okay.
But it started with hey, and I thought that you don't need the hey, and I was editing the hey out
Horses
of it.
do.
Hay is for horses.
You don't need the hay.
You don't need the hay. Do you practice tambourine?
Yes.
You do? And are there tons of techniques
Yes.
tambourine playing? I mean, I know there, but enough to really work on and develop stuff over years of playing tambourine.
Yeah.
Like how deep is that?
Because it's one is endurance, because trying to shake the tambourine for what if it is the full song? I mean that's a long time, so you got to get the muscles up on that. But then it's getting the different, staying in time, because it's not just this direction, it's that direction, and then where's the swing value in that,
right?
And how trashy do you want it? Because you can keep it, if you keep it flat, it stays pretty dry, and all the way up, it's really long and trashy and wet. So it's just finding the right level between it, and getting the shake, and then shaking it at these different angles can auto put the swing in naturally. You don't have to think about it, because the jingles don't move at the same rate as the rest of everything. So it's figuring all that out. But I'd say the biggest thing to work on, that I work on, is just endurance. Put on like the extended version of Flashlight, which is like 9, like by, is that Parliament or is that officially George Clinton?
I think it's a George Clinton song.
But anyway, like it's like almost 10 minutes long, and just trying to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I treat him usually like a shaker because I don't have to fight gravity as much, and I
Right.
shake this way.
I've-
It's harder to get the backbeats and stuff, a little more
Yeah.
awkward, but
Dude, I've run into that recording because I'll overdub tambourine and shaker and stuff, and I kid you not, I've done this where literally my elbow ends up sitting on my leg because I can't hold my arm up because it's freaking.
which doing that you lose some feel.
You do, and it's a weird thing. It's a really weird thing, and you lose you lose some feel, and it's also like you're saying, like pacing out the differences of it, and like there was like a 7-minute song that I did. Pretty quick tambourine on.
I mean, recording, most people will
And-
take the shortcut and get their 4 bars and.
But I don't know how
you
to
gotta
do that.
But
I
then
just-
also,
think I know how to
over
do
and
that?
over
poor
again.
person's got to do it live now. Has got to sit there and shake
Yeah.
the thing for.
You got to be ready.
And and the other thing is, this a lot of stuff I do that for too will be demos and stuff. And there's no click track we're recording to, so like the tempo changes slightly, so you get a little off sometimes depending on if it speeds up or slows down. And then you try to copy and paste stuff across, and it does not work. It's like, how about you just play the thing, dude? So I end up doing different things like that. Luckily now I have an arsenal of like 3 or 4 tambourines where I can get different sounds.
Aw.
I do,
3 or
and
4.
Guess what? They're all Meinl.
Oh,
They're all Meinl. They are. And I'll get different sounds out of them. And just mixing different jingles and stuff. But I find that I like brass stuff for punches, and I like the steel stuff for the classic like
eighth notes.
eighth notes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I recommend that to people all the time. Like you do your eighth notes or your quarter notes, whatever, your 16th notes, your triplets, whatever, with the steel, and then get all your backbeats with a brass one.
Yeah, you get a little
and
bit
then
more
you can get really into it, and you add like all these things, and like subtly have every downbeat on with this tambourine, and then but you do the heavy backbeat with this one, but then you get all the eighth notes with this one, and you get this weird thing, and you keep it so far down in the mix that you don't even hear it. You're like, it's
But
like
it
one of those things
grooves.
like there's something there. You take it out, no one knows what you took out.
Yeah.
But like
Something's missing.
something's missing now.
Yeah, it absolutely grooves.
Which is the bulk of so much percussion stuff. Like it's
60s.
anyone can do
Yeah.
that, and that's actually
A lot of 60s music had almost
yeah.
every song
Dude,
had freaking
tons.
tambourines in. But I was going to ask you this. Okay,
You
were
asked
talking
me
about,
this.
Like, you're talking about working on endurance. Now, have you ever had, or do you do just straight up gigs where you're just playing tambourine?
I would. I mean, I play in a choro group, so that's Brazilian. I play the pandero, and that's
Yeah.
the only thing. And
Okay.
I'd tell you, my arm. It's actually we just had rehearsal this past weekend, and everyone else was like learning a new tune. For me, it's just this. It's not just the same old pattern over and over, but like. I'm working on my endurance, so I just let them work out the whole thing, and I ended up playing for like 20 minutes.
Nice.
Just and at the end, I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna have to edit our non-edited podcast. Take that out. But I'm gonna leave this part in so people don't know what you say.
It's all good. You don't have to edit it out. It's a free country.
but it's not a free masterclass.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's $10, and we're cruel. We're criminals for trying to charge for education, and pay the artists that are dedicating their time to it.
I mean, if you want to get in free for places, I hope that whatever you do for a living, you're willing to do for free as well.
Yeah, it's true. But no, I don't want to sound like a complainer. I'm really not. This is just us talking about stuff. But it's going to be a really great thing. We have a masterclass on percussion techniques. We have a guy, Brent Barenhausen, that does a lot of like orchestral stuff. So he's going to talk about just the auxiliary percussion.
Yeah.
And, spacing those notes, shakers, tambourines, triangles, all of that stuff that we all, I should say we all. I'm referring to drum set players. We tend to pick up a little bit of it, playing a bell, playing a tambourine here or there. but we don't get trained on it. We don't take lessons on it. But there's some techniques.
You get those little techniques. It's those little things, and that's what gets things over the edge. It's all the home studios in Nashville and all the studios in Nashville are like, oh, I don't need a percussionist. I got the stuff. I'll just throw it on the track. It's like, yeah, you can do it, but there's that little finesse of everything. And then I always think recordings sound so much better when it's done live. Like the group's all in. Maybe they're all in booths, isolation booths, sure. But everyone making that eye contact, you can kind of get a sense like, all right, okay, you're about to do something.
It's not just pasted together, It's like,
and even if you never
organic.
play, like if you don't never do anything except that one pattern, no fills, no nothing, just being in the room, you get that it just locks in a little better. I think with the live
there's that human element to it, and
you change that feel just a little bit on the bridge because you see it in his face.
How many behind the music documentaries have you watched? No, like, yeah, this was take 40. And there's another song where it's like, yeah, we had it on take 2. But like, think about how long they workshop that song from the beginning to the end. And they're like, oh, I found this cool thing on take 4. And this, it can be like pretty brutal when you do that many takes. I think the most I've done on a song was probably like 8 or 9. But even after like 4 or 5 takes, you start to be like, are we really going to get something else? Yep. Sometimes you discover those things, and then it's like, it was all worth it.
I just saw something where Billy Corgan was talking about when they recorded Tonight, and the take that you hear on the record is take 2. And they did it, and the second take, and him and Jimmy Chamberlain looked at each other like, that's the take. And they were like, do you want to, let's do it again? Or like, if you listen to it, he says, it's not perfect. There's stuff in it, but he was like, they just knew that was the one.
Yep. Yeah, most great records aren't perfect. They're not. When I listen back to myself recorded, I always have the most ridiculous critiques. And obviously I'm listening for the drums specifically, my thing, and I'm going to be my hardest critic. But at the same time, when the rest of the band is like, doesn't have to be perfect, it like infuriates me for 3 seconds, and then I agree with them.
Right, because you hear those little imperfections. You hear like, I could do it better, and everyone else is so happy with the take. They're like, this is awesome, this is great, and you're like, nah.
There's another X factor to the way that the groove sits in that take that like that's worth the minor imperfection over here. Yeah,
but it's funny too because whenever I go back and I listen to like times I've recorded in studio or even a home studio or whatever, I can hear some of those things that like bothered me then. It still bothers me now. They still like do, but I've tried to get over that. Like, man.
It's also hard to really enjoy a song after you've played it to death in the studio and recorded it.
Yeah,
like you gotta like let it exist for a while and then go back and listen to it. Because you're sitting there hammering take after take, and then you listen to it like that night. Those are your worst ears to listen to yourself play.
True.
You need some fresh perspective.
Well, if you just quit messing up, then you don't have to worry about it.
Oh, well, we're not all as perfect as you.
Try doing something
right
the
if all you
first
ever
time.
do is mess up, then you just like, all right, it's going to be bad.
If you mess up your entire life and you're okay with
Fix
it.
that and post.
That's me.
You shift everything over.
Continuously mess up. It's expected.
I don't know how you're off by a 16th note for the whole thing. Like, just move it over one. It's fine.
Yeah.
Easy.
Lock it in and shift.
Nowadays, it's easy.
There's difference between precision and accuracy, right? I always picture a dartboard with that analogy of all the darts hit in the same spot and it's over on the right or the left.
Demotivator posters, despair.com. And I think they have one. It's only consistency is only a good thing if you're not a screw up. And I think it's like a dartboard and everything's just off the center.
I love it.
Or it may not be a dart, it might be archery. It might be an archery thing. It's like everything's just off. It's like, but everything's in one spot.
But it's still not even close.
It's very consistent.
That's great.
But it's not where you want it to be.
I think of that, like all those school posters of like some guy on top of a mountain and it's like, endurance. Like,
and the cat.
Yeah,
the cat.
Well,
yes.
Hanging down.
We laughed about this yesterday. The Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott quote, and
you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott, in The Office. Yeah, he just writes it. He adds his name.
He adds his name to it. That's so classic.
Oh, he's leaving again.
I know.
Don't mind me.
All right. He's gonna write something down. What's he writing?
I never know what he's writing.
Myself to edit the edit your comment out from earlier.
Oh, give me a break.
It's a family show.
It's a family show. He's wearing his family-friendly sweater. And
Family Feud sweater.
it's a family show.
Watch
It's a cardigan,
He's
too,
wearing
though,
a bow tie.
Family Feud. Is Family Feud a family show?
Not anymore.
It is not.
Okay.
That is the raunchiest show on television.
That's
And
what
it's
I'm saying.
amazing.
It's worse than
And
Jersey
it's great.
Shore.
It's amazing. Steve Harvey is
He's great.
his
He's
deadpan.
tremendous. Yeah, he's wonderful.
He's great.
It's a good Instagram page to follow too. They show
Ooh,
some.
okay. I gotta follow.
As
that
is the TSA. Theirs is
one.
hilarious.
Yours is a good Instagram page to follow too.
Adam from Meinl.
Yep.
Adam
I
from
send
Meinl?
people to you all the time.
Oh, nice. I need to. Hopefully, during the first quarter, I'm going to find a Saturday to go in the office and film all the stack requests that I have because I think it's about 150 right now.
Wow.
So once I get them all filmed, I won't do them once a week. I might do it like once a day, or like maybe at least 3 times a week posting just to get caught up.
You have
like,
to
get a bunch out because I feel bad. It's like I'd say right now it's 3 I've only been doing requests for the past 8 months, and they're about 3 years behind.
And you're backlogged.
It's like I need to, but I got to find time to.
Right.
It doesn't take long to shoot the video. I mean, 10 seconds. But getting it all set up and then making sure I have everything written down, like whose request was this, and which cymbals are they, and
Preaching the
and
choir,
checking
dude.
also. Like I
know.
have a huge list. Like what stacks have I done already? Thankfully, no one's asked for one I already did.
Dude, it's literally
Because I don't want to have to go find it and be like, it's here.
right. No, it's literally like a couple hours of my day every day. Is not the recording. It's not this part. It's not the editing. No. It's just taking clips I already have on my phone and posting them across platforms.
Yeah. But I once I get a little caught up with the stacks, cymbal stacks, I'm going to start doing something with some percussion things. I have a few ideas for
Thought
stuff
this was
that
a
could
family
be cool.
show.
Saxophone.
Percussion things.
Saxophone. Once he gets caught up with the sax.
Stacks.
Stacks.
Like the record company.
Mm-hmm.
What record company?
For those of you who don't
recording
know,
Stacks Records.
Stacks Records.
yes, if you, it's
As
in the
opposed to
name.
Motown, which is better.
Yes.
Ooh,
And those might be fighting words for people,
those are fighting words. I'll clip it up. This is great.
but
It's exactly what we need.
it's a fun game.
I just need the hate to kind of, just
Haters going to hate.
Well, speaking of fun games, have you ever?
Parcheesi? Yes, I've played Parcheesi.
Okay,
It's
no,
weird.
you came up with that great
Parcheesi's
game
a
that
really
you would
fun
choose
game.
between.
Oh,
two
yeah,
different
that's the
bands.
game, yeah.
Is that still going on?
I'm still working on that.
Explain.
Still working on it. This is
What
a
is the
great
game?
concept. I love this.
Well, I'm actually talking about trying to do a podcast with some friends in Nashville to do this, but it's just 2 bands or artists that are comparable in some way, and then well, that's what Motown or Stax. It's a great way to start.
There you go.
Dude, you're not wrong if you pick it. Well,
Right.
actually, in my opinion, there's a right and wrong answer on that. But just picking. It's a great bonfire, front porch game,
Yep.
like picnics and stuff, and just a bunch of friends, and you name it, and everyone has to pick one. There's no I can't pick. That's neither one or both. No, you got to pick one. It's just for fun.
Give another example.
Biggie or Tupac,
Nice.
Christina or Britney, Beatles or Stones.
Yep.
Class. Madonna or Lady Gaga.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's just so many. You
Nice.
could go.
I know.
And it's just
It-
about
it is-
finding and it's just for fun. Although I think one of the times I did play this, I think a couple broke up shortly
Oh,
after.
boy.
They picked a different band.
this was telling. You should just be there on the first date. You can save him a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like if you pass this test, that needs to be published in some some magazine, some
It's a compatibility thing.
compatibility test.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Adam also has a. He won't talk to you about Seinfeld either unless you can pass 3 questions.
5.
Five. He has
Five.
5 questions. So go ahead.
And we're not doing those today.
Oh, why not?
Because people can look it all up, all the answers, and get them
okay.
right in the future.
Gotcha. All right. He's right.
He's
right.
sweating over here.
Okay.
I'm terrified.
And
I
just-
need to do it. I feel like I don't
Okay,
know
this
how
will be
to
off the air.
Are you good with
Off the
Seinfeld
air.
trivia?
I'm currently through my second watch through.
Oh.
I know.
Only 2.
That's what I'm saying.
I remember 1999.
I'm on season 9. Listen, I'm on season 9 on my second time the entire way through, and the last time, the first time that I watched it all the way through was last year. I'm new, but it's relatively fresh. So I don't know where that would rank me.
So many people would want to take me on with Seinfeld trivia stuff, and I just kind of got bored of just knowing. Like, I've definitely had other issues going on to know that much stuff about Seinfeld, but
Sure.
I'm just like, all right, if you want to take me on in trivia, I have here's my standard 5 questions. You have to get them all right.
And
or
if you can't answer that, you can't ask me questions.
You can't ask me questions. There's no, because I want to make sure you're on my level. And even one of my best friends, who we pretty much, our biggest connection has always been Seinfeld, and he only got 2 of them. So,
oh wow, I'm gonna fail this.
Yeah.
Are we doing it? I feel like we need to do it.
Well, not on air.
Not on air.
Because I don't want it out, my questions out there, and then people learn them. It's got to be on the fly.
This is a tease. Yeah. Are they good? Sean, did you pass the test?
No, he didn't pass. No. He didn't get any of them.
Oh, crap. I got no chance.
I didn't get any of them.
He didn't get any?
I don't think I did.
All right.
But Adam and I broke bread at Tom's restaurant, though.
Mm-hmm. We did that.
You visited the site.
Him and I together. We had a date.
And is that a movie thing where you walk in, it looks nothing like the outside?
It looks nothing like the outside.
It was a set.
It looks like all Seinfeld stuff.
Yeah, there's
just posters on the wall.
Seinfeld autographs and pictures. They've all been there.
Listen,
and
if there's a Seinfeld episode, drums, etc., we'd be cashing in on
my
that.
My first trip ever to New York, I went to the corner of First and First and was all ready to call my friend Collect from a payphone and tell him that I was at the nexus of the universe, because how can the same street intersect with itself?
Right.
But there was no payphone there. But it was, that was 2000.
And also,
7, 6.
Adam and I, being big Turtles fans, especially the first Ninja Turtles movie, we visited the corner of 11th and Blinker. Which, if you've ever seen the first Ninja Turtles movie, that is where April O'Neil lives.
Which looks nothing like. It's in the middle of, like... It's in Greenwich Village.
Yeah, Greenwich Village.
And
nice.
You took
according to the movie, absolutely.
That's great.
We went to the Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Ghostbusters Firehouse, 53rd and 3rd.
That at least looks like it. That's the exterior was shot there. So
the Ramones, 53rd and 3rd.
Yeah, and we did something else on one of the trips.
We did the Top of the Rock. Which isn't like, I mean, that's just
that's not really a thing.
Yeah, it's just touristy stuff. We went to Dana's apartment.
Is that building's off Central Park?
Yeah,
it's actually
was actually by accident. I had visited it twice already. I had visited this place before, but we were staying just around the corner, and I think this is Dana lives right down the street here. This is Dana's apartment, and the church connected to it. Sure enough, boom, there it was. And I took a picture of myself sitting on the church stairs with the doors were open, so I got to look in, and everything else like that. But we just passed by it.
Here's something I have to ask you. So and I can't think of the name of it. That famous restaurant that he's up against the glass, like
Tavern on the Green.
Yes. Is there actually?
It's right there.
Is that's right there?
It's right there.
And directly across from it is there that like half wall that he jumps over?
Yep, it's right there. And actually, Rick was eating at Tavern on the Green once, and he took pictures of Dana's apartment building and sent it to me.
Wow.
Like while he was sitting in Central Park at Tavern on the Green, because he knew that was the Ghostbusters building.
Yeah. Fancy.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Nice
Good times.
Yep.
Good times. Thanks for popping in, Adam.
I love the pop in. Popped in just right now.
Love the pop in. Speaking of Seinfeld.
Yeah, he gets one. He gets a reference.
That's not on your list. Pop in is
No.
is entry level. Pop in's like soup Nazi level of knowledge. That's like that. Oh, I get that reference.
You have Kasim?
Listen. It's been a great time here on the Drum Key Poppin' episode with Adam from Meinl, Sean Groff. My name is Adam Steck. Thanks for joining us for this chaos.